It's been freezing rain for about four days. 4 days of freezing rain. So today I'm gonna stay inside and we're gonna talk about the top 5 BMX riders of 2020. Now when I make these kind of sit down videos, it tends to attract more of a broad audience. So if you've never seen me before, which is very likely, consider hitting that subscribe button because we do a lot of fun stuff. We try to do 1,000 bar spins in 24 hours. We film entire BMX edits in just 60 minutes. And of course we stay 24 hours at a sketchy skate park. Unfortunately, no, it's not in the hood gang zones with no brakes. But we do a lot of fun stuff on here, so consider hitting that subscribe button. Like this video if you'd like me to make more videos like this throughout winter. Drop some ideas down below, and while you're down there, consider checking out the podcast where I have a sponsor series. Long story short, using in your edits, I react to them, we hang out, and at the end of the episode, I give away some merch, so check that out. Without further ado, top 5 BMX riders of 2020. Now, this is being filmed as of October 28th of 2020. And keep in mind, this is more of a discussion. Also, let me know in the comments below who you think the top 5 BMX riders of 2020 is. Now, of course, this is one man's opinion. These aren't my favorite riders. I love all of them, don't get me wrong, but this isn't a list of Greyson Roberts' favorite BMX riders. This is who, in my opinion, think had the top 5 spot. And I had to do a little bit of research, so I'm not super educated in every rider in BMX. I'm sure there's plenty of people who deserve to be in the top 5, but dug a little deep, took a little personal opinion, and just the overall response so far of the year with these riders. So let's get into it. Now, none of these are in any specific order, so we're gonna start with number 5. Now, I've actually never heard of this guy. He's an 18-year-old park rider from Kyoto, Japan. Rim Nakamura absolutely destroys it. Now, I haven't heard of him because 1, there's a bajillion BMX riders out there. I can't know them all. And 2, he lives in Japan. 3, he's a park rider, which I don't keep up with too much. But damn, after watching this kid's Instagram, he's insane. He's one of those guys that airs out of a quarter pipe, goes over a box jump, even a spine dog, and can do whatever he wants. You couldn't even replicate his skill in pipe. You just couldn't do it. Our brains don't compute on the same level as him. He's young, he's Japanese, so you know he's smart as shit, and he's really good on a bike, so go check him out. He rides professionally for Sabrosa at 18 years old and took first place in BMX Park at the 2020 Simple Session. So Rim Nakamura is in 5th place. Excuse me if I said your name wrong, guy. I apologize. Fourth place coming in at Felix Pran. Let me know how you actually pronounce it down below. Now you guys know Dylan Ashlock, or as we like to call him, Dildo Asscock, a character here on the channel, and this is one of his all-time favorite riders, and he got me into him, and this guy throws down. He's really good. He's one of those trendy street guys, which I kind of look like right now, but it'll be all right. Felix is from a little town called Cologne, Germany. No way in hell I said that right, but that's somewhere in there. But he quickly took over the street scene. This guy is unreal. He rides professionally for We The People, where you can find his signature parts, but he's also got a laundry list of other sponsors, and I'm just gonna name a few. He's got Equa, Doomed, the clothing brand, Etnies, and more. He also has over 100,000 followers on Instagram. If that doesn't tell you how good this guy is, to get 100,000 followers on Instagram and not be a YouTuber is pretty impressive. So that's Felix P coming in 4th place. Third place is Dennis Anderson. Now, I feel like if you're watching this, you know who the guy is. The 29-year-old California native has taken 10 gold medals, according to whatever website I read. But that's a lot. One is a lot. One is more than I'll ever get. So props to Dennis on 10. And he is also a co-host on a popular BMX podcast called Unclicked. You can find that on the Our BMX channel. Recently, I started my own podcast, and funny story is I had ordered all my equipment, and as it got here, I then watched, for me, the first Our BMX podcast I'd ever seen, quickly realized that our equipment is almost identical, so I quickly had to switch things up. But after that, I've just been hooked. I think his podcast is great. He does a fantastic job as a co-host. He takes professional BMX riders, popular people in the industry, and brings them in and, breaks it down, gives them the insights, things that people just don't know, give you the real life version of Dakota Roche, Jacob Cable. It's just a really cool platform. He's doing dope shit on and off the bike. I'll link Our BMX podcast down in the description below. You already know this guy. I mean, come on. That's why I chose to talk about his podcast that I like so much. You know Dennis. Destroys street, destroys park, and just an overall cool dude. I think he likes coffee. He's always that one guy who's got his Starbucks or wherever the hell he gets it. He's always got it on the podcast, just sipping away. Chill as a pickle, dog. Dennis Anderson in third place.
Coming on greatly. This feeling like a million. I've been here before. Yeah, I recognize the talent of this marble floor. And I don't need my eyes to see what lies behind that wooden door. A little deja vu, I'm gonna get it right. A little time with you and I can see a light. A little deja vu, I'm gonna get it right. A little time with you and I can see a light. Things will turn out.
Well, this is a first. Second place is Garrett Reynolds. Once again, you guys know Garrett. He is probably the best BMX street rider in the world. I'm not even exaggerating. If you don't know who Garrett Reynolds is, I don't know if you're butt buddies or butt buddies. I don't know if you're bunk buddies with Patrick I had a joke about living under a rock, dog, but it turned pretty gay. Regardless, Garrett Reynolds is one of the best street riders in the entire world. Your favorite rider's favorite rider, everybody and their mom looks up to. My fucking dog looks up to Garrett Reynolds. And get this, you think Dennis's 10 gold medals was cool? Garrett has 13 gold medals, 2 silver, and 1 bronze, all taken home from X Games. So I tried to do this without reading it, but he won Nora Cup Rider of the Year 7 times. 7. You think the people in Nora were like, damn it, it's obviously Garrett. It's gonna be Garrett next year. It was him last year, and it's gonna be Garrett in 2040. I mean, their hands are tied. What do you expect? 7 times. And back in 2016, he won a Rider's Choice of the Year award. In the source I read this from, it only listed that once, so I assume the people over at the Rider's Choice Award department was like, you know what? 1 medal's, this guy's got enough. If anything, we're gonna burden him. He's gonna have to build another trophy case. And who knows what other, random awards that aren't documented along the way he's got, just from his life of being a legend on BMX. Legend in BMX. Excuse me. Anyway, I'd actually only recently found out about this a couple years ago. He is actually the owner of the brand he rides for, Fiend BMX, which I think is super cool. Garrett Reynolds owns Fiend BMX. That blew my mind. I only found out about that recently. 30 years old, he's still throwing hammers, mind-boggling stuff. Quite literally the GOAT.
This feeling that I have now, almost a bit holy, an notion that I will make it out somehow. A little deja vu, I'm gonna get it right.
He's in second place. So scratch everything I just said. It can't be that good, because first place, in my opinion, and what I would assume is a lot of other people's, the #1 rider of the year for 2020 as of October 20 something. Brad motherfucking Sims. And I've explained that I actually have an edit reaction to him. Don't go watch it because those edit reactions suck, but I reacted to his edit and followed him in that video because I explained, I was like, I never followed Brad Sims. I've always been a fan of him though. But the reason I never followed him is because I never had to. He's been doing such crazy stuff that it was just popping up in the Explorer in my algorithm on my Instagram. I didn't miss a Brad Sims video even though I never followed him, but of course now I am. I get multiple just crazy videos of Brad a day because on top of his normal feed, I'm getting things from Explore, repost page, series reminding me about taking my knife off my curtain. This setup's super jank. This is just for this video. I had to use this as a way, but I'll forget it. So anyway, Brad Sims has probably the biggest hops I've ever seen, Doug. It's crazy. He's insanely talented, insane hops. He defies physics. Brad has Elon Musk shaking in his boots. Nobody understands. Go check out his Instagram. Seriously, if you don't know who Brad Sims is, this is some of the most refreshing, mind-boggling, inspiring riding I've ever seen. Garrett is all of those things, but in the traditional, you do a tail whip to double peg backflip, whatever. Brad is doing like manual 180s on boulders to X-up wall ride on the Empire State Building. It's a lot of fun to watch, so I recommend you go check out Brad. But speaking of the Our BMX podcast, you can actually find him on that podcast. I'd watch that one as well. He was a guest on Unclicked, so if you want to learn all about Brad Sims, go check that out. Anyway, guys, that was the top 5 BMX riders of 2020, and that was, of course, a little bit of research, a little bit of my opinion, some of what I've gathered from the community as a whole, and, most of these guys were street riders. That's just what I'm into. That's what I do. Don't get me wrong, I love park. I love riding ramps, and now that it's winter, I'm gonna have to go to my indoor, 2 pegs, cassette, the whole 9 yards, but the very little amount that I know is of street, and this is my opinion, so let me know down below. You agree, disagree? Let me know who you think the top 5 BMX riders of 2020 are. And let me know any other video ideas you guys have for me while it ice rains. Thanks for hanging out today, guys. Hit that like button if you enjoyed it. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you. Oh shit! My girlfriend texted me when I was talking about Dennis Anderson. It's not funny. Her car hydroplaned. Hello?